AJ, are you in your real self apart from the issues of worth that you were talking about yesterday?
That's a huge issue, is it not? Issue of worth. How can I be in my real self while I still don't believe that I have worth to God's extent that He believes I have worth? I can't be, can I? So no,
But
the answer
you were
is...
saying that you
The answer
have
is
the
no, I don't.
ability to trust God and have a relationship, which is huge.
Yeah, but I'm still nowhere near my real self. Am I? Well, I can't be. If I was really near my real self, would I have the injury of self-worth? It's a huge injury.
Oh, I thought there were grades of coming towards your real self. Is it either
course.
you are your real self or you're not?
Well, no, I'm not. But I've said to you, I classify myself at the moment to probably be 5% of my real self.
Oh, wow. That's a bit depressing for me.
Why is it depressing for you?
Well, it means I'm a bit...
Shouldn't it be depressing for me?
Sorry about that.
That's all right. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, though. Like, a lot of times you enter comparison. And honestly, comparison is not helpful to your development of your real self. You know, the only person you really need to compare yourself to is the person you were a minute ago. Does that make sense? Or an hour ago, or a day ago, or a year ago, or whatever. Because entering comparisons like this with other people, everyone's at different stages of development. You're going to meet people, and hopefully when all the 14 get into a proper state where they're back at their normal state, which is the union condition, you'll see very large contrast between yourself and them, and it shouldn't depress you. It should inspire you. Like, those people only took 2,000 years to get to that state. You laugh, but 2,000 years is not long, is it? You think about it. You're laughing at me. I don't know why you're laughing at me. Why are you laughing at me? Because it's hard to get perspective on 2,000 years. Oh, okay. Well, I suppose I don't think about that. Like, I sit down in front... I went across to New Zealand, sat down in front of one of the trees that was my age. It's quite an emotional experience, actually, meeting a tree on Earth, because most trees have been destroyed, right? Meeting a tree on Earth that was the same age as myself. Yeah. But yeah, 2,000 years, nothing. Nothing. Time-wise, it's nothing. So you imagine, like... You can't expect yourself to be the same as a person who's spent all of their life developing in God's love for 2,000 years. Does that make sense? You can't expect that of yourself. And if you do, it's unloving to expect it of yourself. It's a self-attack. Yeah, you don't need to do that. The reality is that everyone has developed at different speeds. And many of you will develop more rapidly than many of the people I know from 2,000 years ago. Because if you engage your will on earth, many of them didn't, right? They had to engage their will after they passed. And if many of you engage your will to develop on earth and receive God's love on earth, many of my friends didn't in the first century do that, then you imagine you'll get developments here on earth that occur. You know, you might even become at one with God on earth, and you might even have you and your soulmate at one with God on earth. That's never happened in history for a person in their first incarnation to become at one with God while on earth with their soulmate at one with God while on earth. It's never happened in the history of this planet. And that you could do that. The hundreds of you could do that. So it's no good comparing all the time, you know. The best person to compare yourself with, which is what I do, compare myself with myself a minute ago, or an hour ago, or a day ago, or whatever. Does that make sense? There's no need for you to make any other comparison. And even a comparison of that kind is only for the sake of your own learning, to measure your own progress, to make sure that you're on track. It's not to condemn yourself or harm yourself with it. Okay, well, let's look at the two gifts as well, these other two